Let's go live. Welcome on in. It's time to pop a 4th or 5th beer and watch Colonel RPG die again and again and again. Oh, I'm not gonna die again and again and again. I'm not gonna be fighting Death Claws. What do you think is gonna happen? Welcome to the stream, Harry. Oh, yeah. I might die again and again and again. Oh, no. I forgot where I was. Dang it. Dang it. Told you. Yeah, maybe. Jung, welcome to the stream. Hail Satan, says to Harry. Welcome to the stream, Jung. How's it going? Let's add Victoria. Would it be pronounced Victoria? Or do they pronounce it with a B? No, they wouldn't pronounce it with a B. Because the Latin... No, they couldn't. The Latins had a way of saying, of talking about the people here in Portugal. Not the country Portugal, naturally, but the lands here in the northwest area of the Hispanic... of the Iberian Peninsula. They called us there's one writer, anyway, from the 2nd century, I think, that talks about us as the people who say B instead of V. So it is possible that they said V whenever they were supposed to say V, because the we, it's a matter of pronunciation. They don't distinguish it, but there are some words that are pronounced differently, as far as I know. What's all this talk about ads? So they could have said Victoria rather than Victoria. Although they wouldn't notice a difference. But if somebody said Victoria, then they would be like, whoa, look at that nerd saying Victoria. What is this? What nerd? I'm going to write it about him in my book. And then people 2,000 years after that, they read that book and they were like, okay, well, I guess that's where your accent comes from, isn't it? Because that accent still exists here in specifically the northwest area of the Iberian Peninsula, but specifically the northern areas of Portugal. We pronounce it with the V's. We tend to go for the B sound because it's easier. Did you got that? It's easier. You don't have to make as much of an effort when you say the words. And so instead of you saying vinho, which means wine, you say vinho because it is a lot better. It's a lot easier. Ad Victoria. Yeah, that sounds Portuguese enough. I'm somewhat far in Grim Dawn, says Harry. It's kind of interesting, but the Colonel RPG stuff, that's not what he means, though. Finding waves and waves of enemies. Other than that, I'll give it an 8 out of 100. He doesn't say what is it is out of, so though we don't know. Harry's rating system is very complicated. Let me look before I come back into Let's Play mode. I need to look at our quests, because otherwise bad things will happen. So we have options here. Find Harlan's friend, who has been imprisoned by the Nightkin. Search the nearby room for the Stealth Boy shipment with the Nightkin. Yeah. So let's find Harlan's friend. I don't think we're gonna find Harlan's friend. Oh, in fact, we might be able to find Harlan's friend, but by you... Oh, no, we can't. Oh. Could that be? Harlan's friend? I really don't want to mess with the Nightkins. Ah! You did get me. Well, I guess it's save scumming time. Not really. Okay, well, this is a dead end. I'm so very sorry. Excuse me. Thank you. Not really save scumming time. I'm more interested in navigating. Oh, it goes down. It goes down, and that's why that. Yep, that is. Hi. Oh, that's a minigun. Right. This is gonna be a stealth mission, all right. I'm gonna need to get my armor out because even with the stealth boy, which it's gone. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't think this is doable. Yeah, it's, I'm gonna die. Oh, there's no... I can't go down? I don't think they can get to me here. Hi. Oh, hi. Hi. No, no. No, don't want that. No, definitely. No, no. The opposite. The opposite of that is what I want. Okay. His friend is downstairs. Don't touch them. Yes, not touching them is a good idea. Sneak fails if you touch them. Yeah. So let's try not having our metal armor on. Oh, I still have this. It's not ideal. I mean, we know the way. And we can tell, even though they're sort of invisible. We're gonna need to be really lucky here, actually. With are they taking damage? I'm not sure. We're gonna need to be really lucky with the Pip-Boy not going away. Save the game. Speaking of which, the Pip-Boy not Pip-Boy, the Stealth Boy just went away. And my mouse is making things. Ooh, I think I'm gonna fail this because I don't think I have enough Stealth Boys. I do have enough Stealth Boys. Let's not include that in the Let's Play. His friend is downstairs and just still at the Repcon. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see how this works. It said something added on the upper left corner of the screen, but we don't worry about that. We pretend that that isn't. Nothing has been added. As far as I know, that's just the effect has been added. This is a dead end. I'll explore after. Hi, please go away. This is the correct way, because we never made it over here in our failed attempt. Is that guy coming after me? Because this is awful. This... Oh, it's a lockpick. Farthest to the right, says Jung. Welcome to the stream, Zero. Welcome back. How's it going? Bon night. Farthest to the right? Well, I'm going in the wrong direction then. Okay. Are there... Oh, this requires a key. That is a problem. I don't have keys. I have lockpicks. Oh, this is bad. Can I become addicted to Stealth Boys? Because I'm gonna become addicted to Stealth Boys. Oh, man. Okay, it's a good thing sprinting while stealth. That's probably a bug. But it's a good thing it doesn't get detected. Or it doesn't increase our chances of death. Oh! We got more. No, we don't. Or maybe we do. There's a conductor. My Stealth Boy is gonna go away. Pretty certain about that. Carton of cigarettes. This place looks special. It has a jail key. Jail key is nice key. Box of detergent. Nothing important. Somebody's getting injured. But we don't pay attention to them being injured. Because they're dummies. Okay. This is feeling... You know what? There's a key. There's guards. There's clearly a stealth section. I think I have my light on, which I shouldn't have. But we can pretend that I didn't. The Stealth Boy. Oh, okay, well, I was gonna say, oh, well, maybe we're in luck. I was gonna say that, you know, there's a stealth section, there's a key. Maybe we're in for a rescue mission instead of just finding somebody's body. Azar, welcome to the stream. Been playing some Path of Exile. Path of Exile. I have been meaning to do a Let's Play of that. I played it a little bit on stream like a year or two back, probably more than that. But I just never found the time. doing Poison Blade Vortex. That is a build, I'm sure. I just don't know anything about it. Sorry. Okay, no, we found Harlan's friend. That is sad news. Or maybe good news, depending on your perspective. You know how it goes. My Pip-Boy might... Yep, might not Pip-Boy. I keep saying Pip-Boy. Stealth Boy. There we go. I need to access the Pip-Boy to activate it, but that's a different issue altogether. Yeah, my Stealth Boy just didn't last very long. They keep taking damage. I'm not sure if it is them taking damage. I think it's just them being... You know, they're not well. These people, they're really not well. And so shouts and other things like that is to be expected. There's somebody over here. I really would prefer if you weren't there. Can you not be there? Ma'am? Sir? Would you? This thing is not gonna last forever. Oh my god. Okay, let's go around. I don't know if there is an around. Oh no, there's another guard. There's another guard over here. We can barely tell. This was bad news. There was one right on top of me. Okay, we made it. We made it. We made it. We made it. And there's the other big one patrolling over there. Oh boy. We made it. Excuse me.
Did you find my friend?
I'm Batman. The quest is amazing. This quest is very memorable for sure. I'll start 10 blades spin around me poisoning dudes. It's really time consuming. Be aware of that. Once you start enjoying not Pillars of Eternity, Path of Exile, you will be addicted. And especially I grew up playing Diablo 2. So that's the type of game that I really, really like. And I will do 7 days until Baldur's Gate 3. I don't have any information on that, so I probably won't be playing it when the beta comes out. Unless there's a miracle and I do, but I haven't heard back from them. Also, now that Microsoft owns Bethesda, how do you feel about these things? I'm excited for the first one. What do you mean about those things? What do you mean, Harry? It is important to note that Microsoft doesn't own Bethesda yet, because the deal needs to be approved. So it's not... Thank you for the follow, Imodium. By the way, welcome to the stream. Yeah, the deal needs to be approved, so it's still going to be a couple of months at the very least. And it is possible that if it takes longer than that to be approved, then it might not go through. We'll see. Mafia remake in 2 days. Also can't wait for that. I enjoyed the first Mafia quite a lot. I'd never played the second or the third. I saw footage and I was like, that's not why I like Mafia, so I'm not even gonna bother with that. Quick save, says Jung. I have been quick saving all the time. You forgot about that one. Wait, about which one? Oh, right, about the Mafia thing. You need to time it right to save Harland. Oh, I didn't save Harland. Harland. Oh no, this is Harland. Right. We'll see. We'll see. Thought it was already settled. I also thought it was already settled, to be honest, but we'll find out. Fallout New Vegas 2 will be the new Crysis. I don't know if it's gonna happen. It's probably it's gonna happen at one time, sometime in the future, but just like as a priority. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. I think right now Microsoft, what they really want to spend money on is making the new Elder Scrolls not suck. So yeah, I would say that's a pretty important thing. But I guess we're gonna find out if it's gonna suck or not, if it gets delayed or not, which is the opposite of what happens to Bloodlines 2. Because if it gets delayed, it's gonna suck, and if it doesn't, well, it's not gonna. Or maybe potentially, we'll see. That's also a whole nother clusterfuck. Do you prefer New Vegas 2, New Vegas Remastered, or a new Fallout title? Honestly, new Fallout title. But we'll see, because there's a lot of ways to do Fallout. And what I really want is I want a top-down, turn-based combat with a mouse cursor that you can see the descriptions of every item, and that those descriptions depend on your skills, and then you can interact with the item, with the environment, with whatever item you want, and it's lovely and amazing, and everybody's very happy. And I want that in the future, but I don't think that's going to happen. Everybody's going to be very sad, and there's not going to be any turn-based Fallout. There's any chance that a remake of Fallout 1 and 2? If there is, they're going to ruin it, for sure. I bet they're going to ruin it. They're not going to make it good. They're not going to make it good. One thing that really surprises me one thing that really surprises me in The Outer Worlds is the itemization and the usage of ammo. There's a lot of bad things about the itemization, but also the usage of ammo. It's not bad, as in, there's games that are bad and you don't like that. But Fallout Portugal, there's games that the itemization actively hurts you as a player. In the Outer Worlds, it doesn't really, but it's sort of, I don't know who came up with that. I don't know. It's just like, because it doesn't feel like it's the design at all that Tim Kaine, or Leo Boyarsky for that matter, has ever really taken to in any of the games that they made. Certainly not Fallout, but. So it just feels like maybe it was just the team that decided, or maybe it was just like a calculated decision to make the game a little bit more appealing to a broader audience, because there's people who like the hoarding and the collecting of every little thing. But I think in that game does not need ammo, for one thing. The itemization needs to be completely redone in the sense that you need to have different types of items and not just variety, or rather not just multiple of the same items, but just like slightly different, slightly tweaked. And they need to drop the whole thing about you being able to dress up to have a lockpicking bonus and whatnot. That doesn't matter for anything. It's just like they did the itemization in the Outer Worlds by the book, in the sense that they just did what everybody else does, and I think it's terrible. It doesn't work. It doesn't hurt the game, but it doesn't work. So I don't know what kind of design decisions they would make for a Fallout 1 and 2 remake, and that's why I'm talking about it. I'll go for a new Fallout title, maybe around New Reno, right after people settle back in. There's a lot of New Reno is an interesting place. I think they could sell a new Fallout New Reno. Phew. Just call it Fallout New Reno. My God, I think they could sell a Fallout New Reno. It's like to the higher ups at Microsoft, to the higher ups of any publisher. Especially, as long as it's not made by Bethesda. Because if it's made by Bethesda, then what are we talking about? Bloodlines 2, I lost all confidence in that game. They sacked the original writer from Bloodlines and the creative director. I don't know the name of the creative director. I actually didn't know about them up until I noticed that they were sacked. But yeah, Bloodlines 2, no explanation given. As far as I know, there's no concrete evidence of anything. But I'm very, very apprehensive that they are going to turn Bloodlines 2 into a more of an Assassin's Creed style, the new Assassin's Creed rather, style monetization game where it's all about microtransactions and stuff like that. And if they do that, they're gonna ruin the game. Really, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how they expect it to work, because I don't know. Unless Bloodlines 2 is just not at all to begin with like Bloodlines 1. Before Elder Scrolls, Bethesda will launch Starfield, so Starfield is gonna flop. Just watch. Starfield is gonna flop so hard. This is my gut feeling, honestly. But pay attention to the influence that how should I put this? Pay attention to how much Bethesda pushes their name as the producer, as the publisher of the games from the studios that they have under them. Arcane Studios, like the Dishonored and recently Prey. They're making the new shooty whatever. Arcane Studios is making a bunch of games, and even Doom. Can you imagine that? Look at how much Bethesda pushes those games as theirs, right? To the point where people think that it's Bethesda making the new Doom and making Dishonored 2 or whatnot. It's not Bethesda, and they're pretty hands-off as well, as far as we know, in terms of like the design decisions and stuff like that. And now compare that with the way, for example, Square Enix, which sucks, by the way. Square Enix is terrible, but No, just felt that I should add that there. But anyway, just compare the way that Square Enix, who controls their studios a lot, Square Enix is like that's one of the reasons they suck. They're really hands-on on the way the studios develop. And look at how they publish their games. Look at how, for example, the latest Deus Ex. By the way, they all but confirmed that they're not making any more Deus Exes because of the crap they made with the latest Deus Ex. But look at the way Deus Ex gets published. People talk about Deus Ex. It's the new game by, I don't know, who is it from? Focus that who's people don't talk about it as a Square Enix game, is what I mean to say. And Square Enix has, first off, a lot more money than ZeniMax or Bethesda. They have a lot more pull in the market. If they said, "Oh, it's a new Square Enix game," they were like, "Oh, look at that! It's a new Square Enix game." People get fed so much that the new games that Bethesda publishes are made by Bethesda, and then pay attention to how little that affects the popularity of those games. And you can look specifically at Prey, which is a pretty amazing game, and you can look at Wolfenstein New Blood. Honestly, I think it's a detriment. People don't care that it's published by Bethesda. I'm not talking about the journalists and stuff. I'm talking about like the general public. I'm pretty sure it's just a bad thing. So what I'm saying, why am I saying this? Because, why? Oh yeah, because of Starfield. Starfield is a new IP. New IPs are hard to sell on the face of it, and you know, you have to have a reason to want to invest in a new IP, and this happens over and over again with established studios already. They're biting more than they can than they can take. I'm pretty sure. It's my gut feeling. I guess we'll find out when Starfield releases. Also, Fallout Down Under, those guys in Aussie already have all kinds of fucked up. Almost everything is already used and try to kill you. That'd be like a new version of Serious Sam, just with spiders and kangaroos and dingoes. I think a lot of Outer Worlds was a new team, not the old one. No, yeah, it is. That's true, Jung. It's very obvious. Well, then again, you know, it's been a long while. The thing is, I'm not comparing the Outer Worlds to New Vegas. I'm comparing the Outer Worlds to Fallout 1 because it's, you know, it's the brainchild of the same people basically, Tim Kaine and Leo Wariarski. The game is a 6.5 for me, says Harry. A new Fallout led by Josh Sawyer. Oh yeah, yeah. He says that he doesn't see himself working on a new big project anytime soon. So I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if he wants to do that. It depends on, probably is going to depend on the corporate environment that Microsoft puts on Obsidian. As far as we know, Obsidian isn't like a bed of roses in the first place in terms of like working. It's just, you know how the gaming industry is, but it seems like Obsidian is just, you know, part for the course in some regards, at least in terms of like how much they push the developers and stuff like that. So I can definitely see Josh Sawyer, Microsoft going up to Josh Sawyer and saying, "Hey, do you want to lead New Vegas too?" And Sawyer being like, "You know what? Nah, not really. Let me work on this tiny project over here." I could see him do that. It's been 3 years since they announced Starfield. Yeah, the announcements. I wouldn't pay too much. I wouldn't give too much importance to the announcements, but yeah, it's been a while. I hope that Star Wars Jedi Fallen. Oh my God, so many Jedis. Fallen Order 2 as an RPG, but if only they keep Chris Avellone in the writing team. I'm pretty sure they are not gonna keep Chris Avellone in the writing team. I'm not sure. I read anything specifically about that, but I also didn't read anything to the contrary. So I don't think Chris Avellone is gonna be working on Fallen Order 2. At least not if it gets released anytime soon. We'll see. Same with Elder Scrolls 6. My problem with Elder Scrolls 6 is the combat. Because they need new combat. They need, like, Elder Scrolls can only exist in a world without Dark Souls. And not without Dark Souls as a game, but without Dark Souls as a social phenomenon. The Elder Scrolls needs to learn from Dark Souls. And I think, we were just talking, Fallen Order also learns from Dark Souls. Like, the industry of action RPGs needs to learn from Dark Souls. You know, it's not about copying it, which apparently Fallen Order sort of does in some regards. But it's not about copying it. It's just sort of about learning the design lessons. And the great problem is one named Todd Howard. Zero has the right of it, honestly. Zero has the absolute right, and Harry's agreeing. Bethesda is basically a publisher these days. Yeah, that's true. Mankind Divided. Eios, that's right. Yeah. Eidos, not, yeah, Eidos Montreal, that's the one. Not Eios. Eios is not anything. Same guys that made the new Marvel Avengers. Who made the new Marvel Avengers? Was it Eidos Montreal? Man, they are gonna... What? No way. That can't be. Wait a minute. It's a mixture. It's always a mixture. I know. But is that true? I need to go and watch and see their wiki page. Eidos Montreal. Is the new Marvel Avengers published by Square Enix? Because oh no, not that. I want the wiki page. There it is. Because I was lambasting Square Enix just now, and I know that the new Marvel Avengers apparently sucks, and or at least it hasn't been getting much rave reviews anyway. And Marvel Avengers assisted by Crystal Dynamics. Okay, but I want to see. Did Square Enix? My God. Okay, I fear for Eidos. Honestly, I fear for them. Hopefully they don't go under. Square Enix is not one to do that too much. Because it's one thing to make games that are not very popular. It's another thing to just drive a company under, honestly. Bethesda is stuck in Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield, so the only option to a new Fallout is giving it to Obsidian. But Obsidian is stuck with Avowed. And what's the other options? Don't think of Obsidian as a single team. Avowed, yeah. There's... As far as I know, there's 3 games being developed by Obsidian right now. And one of them... Yeah. One of them is not announced. So, like... I don't know where I heard this. If you follow people from Obsidian on Twitter, you get to... They talk about it every once in a while. If you catch their replies and stuff like that. And I think there's probably like public interviews and stuff like that. It's just that you know how interviews go. Some website does an interview, you don't read it, and then they talk about it on Twitter as if everybody knows it, and that's why Twitter is a handy place to learn. But if I'm not mistaken, there's 3 games that Bethesda is that Obsidian is working on, and by at the time that I heard this, only one of them was announced, which was the little bugs things that I haven't played yet, the little buggy ones. What's the name of the game that's made of bugs and ants and spiders? That one, for Xbox and for PC as well. Grounded, that's the one. Thank you. So there's Avowed that they announced recently. So that one wasn't announced, but they talked about it being development. And there's another one. So that you can probably get like 3 different just teams, as it were. It's not quite as simple as that a lot of the time, because the same person is going to work for multiple games. But usually when it comes to producers and stuff, that there needs to be a certain amount of separation, and that's usually where you get the teams, because there's producers doing different things altogether, and even if they're using the same like animators and the same engine developers and stuff like that, it's still different teams. But the point is, I'm pretty sure they are developing another game. But the thing is, they are developing another game. They could have started developing it before being acquired by Microsoft, and Microsoft were just like, okay, well, go ahead with it. Because the way companies work, companies that need to pitch their games to game development companies that need to pitch their games to whoever. It doesn't have to be a publisher. It could be Kickstarter, or it could be both, although it's a bit of a mess when they do that. But the point is, the way they do it is they start pre-production on a game. They spend like a small team working for a year or maybe 6 months on a game. They have a demo. They have an idea of what's going on and what they are going to do. They have plans for how much it's going to cost and all that sort of stuff that they need to have, right? So they go up to the publishers and they say, okay, I have this game. It's going to be like this. It's going to cost this much. I need this much money, and we expect to sell this much money, these many copies. And the publishers, they negotiate and they pay for it or whatever it needs to happen. But that's how independent companies, which Obsidian was up until 2 years ago, that's how they do it. But then by the time Obsidian gets bought up by Microsoft, things just change. And that's the sort of stuff that we never get access to, is just how exactly the games come about. It could be that Microsoft just has ideas and tells Obsidian, hey, do you want to make any of these ideas? And Obsidian just picks the ideas up. Or it could be that Obsidian doesn't even need to start working on games to just ask, and they just ask Microsoft and be like, hey, can we make this game? Because it's kind of cool. And Microsoft either says yes or no. Because that's how Fallout 1 came about. Interplay was an enormous company by the time Fallout 1 was in development. This is 95. Interplay was probably the biggest publisher of computer games. Just the biggest publisher. I think at one time they had more money. I think it should have been by 95, right? Because the crash was in 93? Or was it 83? When was the arcade crash? Was it 83 or 93? I think it might have been 83. So I might be mistaking the things. I've read somewhere that Interplay. I remember reading that Interplay was the biggest video game publisher for computer, and I think they were one of the biggest companies in the U.S. Or tech companies potentially. I don't remember. But Interplay was the stuff. Like they did everything. They have enormous amounts of people working for them. They made games left and right. 1980s. Thank you, Harry. And what happened is Tim Kaine, for 2 weeks, he got. I think I don't remember how it was. He talks about it every once in a while. I think he finished. He didn't have a job. Like he was working for Interplay, but he did the thing that he had to do that they gave him 3 months to do, and he just did it in 3 weeks instead. And so he spent two weeks of his company time working on the Fallout engine, the Fallout 1 engine. So he spent 2 weeks programming that. I'm sort of remembering from interviews and stuff like that. And then he showed it to Leo Boyarsky and Jason D. Anderson and a few other fellas. I think he talks about other people as well. We know there's 6 people that are the core team of Fallout 1 that then started working on it. And basically for a year or so, they worked in a rogue team inside of Interplay. They made Fallout 1. And it was bare bones and stuff. It had to be finished, but it was the point that they would just finish the work during the day, and they would stay in the offices up during the night to finish the game. And there are other people already in the company playing Fallout 1 and just going in there and let's play this game and whatnot. And Brian Fargo, who was the leader of the company at the time, just sort of let it happen, and that's why Brian Fargo is the first name that shows up in the Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 cutscene. Is special thanks to... No, it's Brian Fargo Presents. That's how it is. It's Brian Fargo Presents. It's how it goes. It's the name, the first thing that happens. And Brian Fargo did nothing for Fallout 1 and 2. He was the head of the company, but he didn't do anything. Brian Fargo, the creator of Wasteland, by the way, in 1982, I believe. So... what ends up happening is they get a budget. Fallout 1 gets a budget because they convince Interplay to publish Fallout 1. And what Interplay does is what Tim Kaine and company wanted was that Fallout 1 was going to be released as a sort of a B game. So it was made from the ground up to be a B-style game, because at the time of Fallout 1's release, you already had the notion of mainstream gaming. Certainly you had the mainstream gaming in terms of popularity, but you also had a very similar notion of what we see today as mainstream gaming. You had games that were praised for their graphics, you had games that were technologically advanced, games that were mainstream in terms of just the gameplay and what people wanted, and you had sports games, of course. You had a bunch of things that Interplay themselves published. Interplay had sports games and all that sort of stuff. Interplay had everything. So even inside Interplay, it was always going to be a B game. So that's very important to the nature of Fallout. It was developed from the ground up to be a B game, sort of B game. You know what I mean? An indie game. It was basically an indie game, except published by the biggest company in the world. But that's beside the point. Now, what Interplay did, and this is where the stars. This is why Fallout is such an enormous lucky thing. What Interplay did is, they gave this little B game developed by a small team of 12 people, they gave it for a publishing budget of a big game, because that's all they had to do. That's all they knew how to do. And it kind of makes sense when you really start thinking about it, because if you ever worked in small companies or in big companies, and you start to understand really the dynamics of how budgeting is accommodated, and how the teams are formed inside of a big company or inside a small company. Big companies don't know how to be cheap. And it's not because that they're dumb or because they're just, I'll spend all the money. That's not the reason. It's just that the infrastructure of a big company doesn't really allow them to be cheap. So if they wanted to have, if they wanted to have like the voiceovers recorded by non-professional people, they would probably have to spend as much money as they eventually did spend with big name people. And Fallout 1 has big name voice actors. It's got MacGyver dude. It's got the Winnie the Pooh dude. Fantastic. It's got she was an actress, the Tandy, and later Lynette in Fallout. I think she was an actress at the time. But Fallout 1 has these big budget voice actors. It's got the clay animations themselves were pretty expensive to make. It's got the play testing as well was really, like, the game was buggy when it came out, but the thing is they spent a lot of money on that, and that's the publisher's job. So they gave the Fallout AAA style budget to finish the game. So that's why it's so good. Ron Perlman, of course, how could I forget Ron Perlman, who already was a pretty famous person at the time. So that's why Fallout is such a miracle. Not Chris Avellone. Oh, right. Oh, okay. You're seeing a perfect Fallout. Yeah, no, I'm talking like the Fallout 1. Chris Avellone worked on Fallout 2. So what happened in Fallout 2 is Brian Fargo left the company. I don't know if he left the company before Fallout 1 was released. I'm pretty sure it was after Fallout 1 was released. But Brian Fargo left the company, and I don't know why. I think it was like for budgetary reasons. He talks about it every once in a while, and he says he has no regrets, but it was like a really screwed up situation. And then this motherfucker, Herv Cain, I believe was his name, shows up, and he doesn't know anything about gaming, and he doesn't care. He's like the corporate big head. He's like the guy that you fight on the Outer Worlds or something like that. And he just doesn't know how to. He just doesn't know how to be sensible. So what he does with Fallout 2 specifically is he puts a team that was 12 people. All of a sudden, it's hundreds of people working on the game. And Fallout 2 was developed in 11 months or 10 months, and that's just because it is such an enormous game, but it is also developed by an enormous team. And Tim Kaine and Leigh Boyarsky and Jason D. Anderson, as well as a few other guys like Chris Jones, I believe, is one of them. There's a bunch of people that leave Interplay midway through the development of Fallout 2. Can you imagine this? The leads left, but they didn't leave because they were fired. They left because they were done with Interplay's bullcrap, and they just didn't want to deal with Fallout 2 being basically not eviscerated, obviously, but it was Fallout 2 is a different type of game, and you can immediately tell. Just in terms of consistency, and that's where you really see that it's a much bigger writing team. But especially if you look at the concepts for Fallout 2, you can start really see that sort of thing going on. And they just decided that they didn't want to work in Fallout 2. And I think they left it at around August, and Fallout 2 was released in September. So they didn't really leave all that late in development. And that's why Fallout 2 is Fallout 2. But still, and they would definitely have worked like on the most important things. But they left to make Troika games. And people at the time were saying that Arcanum was the real Fallout 2. You don't even know. Like, you might know. But the thing is, like, it repeats over and over and over again. It repeats over and over again. What we see Fallout 3 being released, and then we see New Vegas being heralded as the real Fallout 3. That's, that already had happened with Fallout 2. And for Fallout 4, it's going to be the same exact thing. People are always going to be on like, oh, that sucks. That version over there sucks. That's not real. And it isn't. Fallout 3 is not canon. It doesn't matter. For many reasons. But it's not because it's made by the people who it's made of. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is, Fallout 1 is a miracle. And I ramble about it, but I might be hazy on the details, so I may be saying some things that are wrong every once in a while. Let me get back on chat over here. Fallout Soviet Union. I think we already have that in Atom RPG a little bit. We could, yeah, and encased a little bit as well, although it's not in the Soviet Union. Although encased hasn't been released yet. You give new Fallout to its creators. Brian Fargo was the director of Fallout 1, and the current head of the In Exile, also owned by Microsoft. I just covered that. Brian Fargo didn't actually work on the game. He was the director of Interplay, but the head of the game is Tim Kaine and Leo Boyarsky and Jason D. Anderson. And Jason D. Anderson is not working anymore on games, I think, because he wants to not starve to death. So he doesn't work anymore, I don't think. He worked for a little while on... I believe he worked for a little while with Leo Boyarsky. No, was it Leo Boyarsky or was it Tim Kaine? At Carbide Studios? Carbide Studios has gone under. I don't actually know their career all that much, but I don't think it works anymore. He was, as far as we know, it was pretty important to the development of Fallout. But, you know, when we're talking about pretty important, we're talking about man-hours and just spending an amount of time doing all the things. It's not really about just the big ideas and stuff like that, because for the style of Fallout, you have a lot of the mixture of Tim Kaine and Leo Boyarsky. A lot of Leo Boyarsky for sure, but and then of course there's the inputs and stuff of everybody. I think Leo Boyarsky didn't want to have Googie architecture, and then I think it's Tim Kaine who comes up and says, "Ooh, I really would like to mix that with Googie architecture." They have an interview somewhere, or a few interviews where they talk about it, and then Fallout just comes up. I think the idea of being a 50s style sort of retro futuristic game was always there, but I'm not sure about that either. I'm afraid of Microsoft requiring multiplayer games, says Zero. I don't know. I like co-op. I like co-op stuff in RPGs. It doesn't really damage the game. I find. Like, for example, you can see that in Wasteland 2, Wasteland 3, and Divinity Original Sin 2, and Divinity Original Sin 1 as well. It doesn't really damage the game. I think it adds to the game if you are that sort of player that wants to play those games in multiplayer. So, I don't know. And, if they get the money to program it, it's not like it's going to take away from the rest of the development, you know? I sincerely hope In Exile gets a shot at making a new Fallout. Could be. I love Fallout, as long as they make it turn-based. I mean, seriously, I just need a turn-based Fallout again. It's just, that needs to be. I love Fallout era Interplay logo. That's so good. It's so good. Ta-da! I need to play Fallout again. I definitely need to play Fallout 1 and 2 again. I got another Wastelander, or another Wasteland Easter egg in New Vegas. When hacking, 1Password says, "Cochise." That's the main boss of Wasteland 1. I think I remember seeing that one. 2 weeks for a game engine. Yeah, it's a 2D game engine. You can definitely do that. These days, you can make a game engine in a day if you know what you're doing. It's not that difficult. Back then, it's programmed from scratch. It was a C+ game. He probably hacks together some techniques that he had from other engines as well and stuff like that, especially for sprites and stuff like that, because it's not programmed. You have to understand that at the time that Fallout 1 was released, programming for PC, specifically to play games on PC, was a tremendous advantage. Programming for consoles was an enormous task. It was very difficult because, not necessarily very difficult, but it took a lot of time, because you had to program on programming languages that weren't, well, if you, how should I put this? I don't know how PlayStation gets programmed, but I do know how the previous generation of consoles were programmed. And they were programmed in assembly, a lot of them. Not every game was programmed in assembly. Smaller games didn't need that, but it doesn't mean that they weren't. The thing is, because of space constraints in the cartridges and in everything, consoles were programmed very differently. So when you had to come up with a game engine, you had to be concerned about size, and you had to apply really good techniques to make everything work. And as well when developing the game itself. So Fallout 1 uses sprites and a bunch of other stuff. So it uses techniques from other games, but it's all programmed in C+. Or actually, it would have been C#. No, it would have been C+, not C#. I think it is C+. So it's already like the Windows language. So they probably had an easy time with that. Add a soundtrack by Anon Zur. No, the Anon Zur. Mark Morgan is so much better. So much better. Mark Morgan is the stuff. I sniff Mark Morgan every morning. That's the stuff. Like us gamblers say, go big or go home. I love Fallout 2 with the Restoration Project more than Fallout 1. The Restoration Project definitely makes Fallout 2 a much better game. So much better game. Like, Fallout 2 is already pretty good, but it has a lot of problems. The Restoration Project just fantastic. Fantastic. Played Fallout 2 only with the Restoration mod. You can, playing the original version is not a bad time, but you'll find a lot of bugs, and you'll find a lot of shenanigans every once in a while. Corporate bureaucracy is as shitty as a government one. Yeah, that's just bureaucracy in general. It's just how it goes. That's a very true statement. I think Harry saying right there. It's just it's hierarchy. That's how it works. Hierarchy. That's why small teams like. Look at I honestly when I think about the victory of small team development, and it's not like they're amazing at everything. But I look at the folks who did The Long Dark. I look at that, and, like, that is... It's not necessarily just about the small team. It's about, the people who made the game, they have a say. And there's a lot of companies that did do that. Actually... I'm not going to say anything, because I don't want to presume. And I was going to presume, but I am not going to presume, because that's bad. I'm just gonna say I wonder where Brian Mitsoda is gonna go to next. Speaking of ownership of the workers owning the decisions and all this sort of stuff. Super mutant behemoth. Don't say sacrilegious things, Jung. My first RPG and my first game played on PC was Fallout 2, says Harry. That was one of my first as well. Followed by Lionheart, which was one of my first as well, and SimCity 4, which I have never played. I played a little bit of SimCity 2000. Next Red Faction and Siberia 1. I never played Siberia 1. Sorry, man, but I think it's impossible for another turn-based Fallout, says Zero. I don't think it is impossible. Especially if it is made by inXile. If it's made by inXile, I don't think it's impossible. Because inXile just makes turn-based games. I mean, just look at their latest games. That's all they do. They make turn-based games. But more importantly, I think Divinity: The Original Sin and the upcoming Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be a huge boon for turn-based games. And honestly, I always felt that Pillars of Eternity 1 should have been a turn-based game. But I understand that they didn't want to make a turn-based game for multiple reasons. But the biggest reason I think for me is that Pillars of Eternity 1 was always supposed to be a spiritual successor of Baldur's Gate. They wanted to make a spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate. And they made it. I honestly think Pillars of Eternity 1 is a fantastic spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate. Honestly, I think it's better than Baldur's Gate on pretty much every front, except spellcasting. And it's pretty good on spellcasting as well. But Pillars of Eternity 2 should have definitely been turn-based from the start. And it shouldn't have as much combat, because it has way too much combat for a turn-based game. And I think it would have sold a lot better if they had made it a turn-based game, because... Look at Divinity Original Sin 2. That's where I think. Bruno, welcome to the stream. It's been a while. Welcome on in. Yeah, because Divinity Original Sin 2. I'll point at it and I'll show turn-based games. Turn-based games, and I think it's not just about proving that they can sell, because everybody knows they can sell. That's not the point. It's like sort of making the market interested. And when I say the market, I mean like the players in general, as a wave sort of amorphous identity. The players really making them interested in turn-based games. Yeah, and just sort of activating those search engine optimizations and those algorithms and all this sort of stuff. Getting the YouTubers working on playing turn-based games and stuff like that. No big company is going to make turn-based Fallout. Fallout is another thing, though. That is the problem. Jung is sort of giving the other side. Thank you for the follow, Radio, by the way. Sorry, I didn't call you out when you followed. Welcome to the stream, by the way. 36 Ike, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think the thing is, people know Fallout to be a shooter with plastic skeletons. And I think that's a terrible thing, because that's probably the biggest reason why turn-based Fallout is never going to happen, is because people know it to be a shooter with plastic skeletons. They want shooters with plastic skeletons. Microsoft is going to make shooters with plastic skeletons. And, you know, that's not what New Vegas is. That's not what New Vegas is, but if people like it for that, it's just, you know, it changes what companies are willing to make. You just suck at spellcasting, dude. I do indeed. My dream is a CD Projekt Red making a Fallout game. Ooh. That'd be really interesting. That would be really interesting. It would sell like freaking hotcakes, but I'm not sure they can pull it off. It's pretty difficult to work on somebody else's IP. And they, like, for example, you look at the way they're treating Cyberpunk. It looks like they're just, you know, they are doing the same thing they did with The Witcher. They're picking it up and say, okay, we're gonna make our own thing with this, and, you know, the original creator, whatever, it doesn't matter. So I don't know. Geralt slaying super mutants. You have a weird obsession with plastic skeletons. I don't. It's people who have a weird obsession with plastic skeletons. Pay attention to the marketing, and pay attention to just like, pay attention to the way Bethesda tries to sell their games. Like, I don't have it on me. I mean, I do, but I don't have it on the phone. Otherwise, I could post it. Fallout 4 is sold on the funny moments with the skeletons in the houses. You know? It's the skeletons hugging each other in the bed that you've seen 5 million times already. It's the skeletons, one grabbing the money and the other one sort of being throttled. 200 years in the future. That's what Bethesda thinks is environmental storytelling. That's not what environmental storytelling is, by the way. Environmental storytelling is you putting clues in the environment that a detective, for example, would look at it and be like, there's some cigarettes over here. This person smoked. Maybe that connects with something else. Maybe this person, you knew that they didn't smoke. Maybe they had a friend over or something. Or, I don't know, they had books about this. Or there's so many easy ways of making... Every time I make an effort in my Let's Plays to point out when environmental storytelling is used properly. Because it is used properly a lot of the times. Bethesda just doesn't know how to do it. All they know how environmental storytelling is, where should I put the skeletons? That's what Bethesda does. Where is the skeleton? I can't understand anything if there's not a skeleton. And of course it's going to be a plastic skeleton, because skeletons, they fall over to the floor and just get blown off by the wind. Oh, after 20 years, let alone 200 years? My God. What if an indie company stepped in and made an impressive Fallout-inspired game, like they did with Cities Skylines? I think we already have that. We have a lot of that. It depends on what you like from Fallout. I would say that The Age of Decadence is probably the best example of that. But you have other things as well. If you like the sort of survivalist aspect of it, the Underrail is a good example of that as well, I think. If you like there's not that many, but there are a few. There are a few already, I think. After EA fucks shit up with a crappy piece of shit, and EA is just terrible, and everybody thought it was the end of city buildings. Oh yeah, the crappy piece of shit's what is it, SimCity 5 million or something in 2012. That was awful. And pulled the plug on Maxis, I think it was. And bam, Paradox shows up and turns the world around. Yeah, and people should do that with the Sims as well. But yeah, well, Sims 4 sucks. It's not, it's very hard to screw up the formula, but it's just not as good as Sims 3. And the only problem with the Sims 3 is really the performance, which new computers can play easily. I would easily wait another 10 years for a CD Projekt Fallout with the same Cyberpunk quality. I think their view still would be better than Bethesda, or maybe even Obsidian. I don't think they can, like, their view? I don't think they have a better view. Like, look at the main storyline. I think the biggest win for The Witcher 3 is how every single side quest is amazing. But it's amazing in comparison to side quests from other games. But the main storyline itself isn't a standoff. It's just more of the same. It's just another side quest. And it feels like that a little bit. It's a conclusion to one of your companions in the game. It's basically what it is. And I think that doesn't really tell you much about a company just by itself, but it could be explained by basically a lack of direction. Not a lack of direction as in the game has bad directors, but rather they didn't make the game aimed at one thing. And Fallout needs that. I think Fallout needs that, but like Fallout New Vegas has that, and I think it is praised not necessarily for that, but it is because of that it is praised. It needs to have a direction in the sense of like everything needs to not to build up to an ending. That's not the point, but like the game needs to be coherent with itself. And I think CD Projekt can't make games that are coherent with themselves. And if you pay attention to it, you can see some signs. Like Witcher 3 is a success. It is a tale of enormous success, but you can also see some things that are perhaps indicative of underlying problems in the company. And don't forget that making a The Witcher 3 is a lot easier than making a The Witcher 1. Not just because it's easier to sell, but also because you have a repertoire. You know what you're used to. You don't need to come up with things like with mechanics that you didn't think of before because it's a sequel. It's a lot easier to make a sequel than it is to make a new game. The Outer Worlds worth it. Absolutely it is. Unless you really can't stand first-person shooting. If you just can't stand first-person shooting, then it isn't. But for everything else, absolutely it is. No, I want a Cold War 50s-style apocalypse pop culture, heavy with a cool story, deep characters, and real choices. Yeah, but that's like a very specific thing. So yeah. Best Companion Quests, Dragon Age Origins, Best Original Story of nowadays, Kingdoms of Amalur. The Reckoning, I believe it's called. I really need you to see this. That's a GIF. What is that? It's all the skeletons moving around. Let's go back to the game. I've been rambling for an hour. How about that? Maybe not an hour. Yes, unfortunately.
I see.
I'm Batman.
Spare me the details. Damn it. I'm gonna miss that crooked yellow smile. Alright. You did your part, so I'll do mine. Look around up here if you want. I'm gonna make a break for topside.
Are you gonna do it, though? What does a break mean? What does he mean, a break? I think I might be able to tell... He's going for it. He's gonna shoot. He's gonna get shot.
Over here!
Oh.
You like that?
No, he didn't make it.
Not here. Just saw, of course, here. Shut up, stupid head voice!
That was pretty cool. Okay, let's try and save him. Because I think it is possible to do such things as saving him. Block him, yeah.
Did you find my friend?
Let's try and talk to this fellow over here before he comes over. Where is he? Oh, there you are. Oh, not this.
Antler sings for stealth boys.
This might be a better strategy. Sorry, no signs of the stockpile of stealth boys yet.
Keep looking. Antler wants Nightkin to have them.
No, he's gonna die. If I had the stealth boys, I might be able to get them to despawn.
Over here! Come on!
He died after 5 minutes. Even if it's not an RPG, the BioShock Saga stories were amazing. I thought they were good. I think the last BioShock wasn't as good, but like it's better on some regards than others. I killed all Nightkin before talking to him. I think that's what I did the last time around as well. I just don't want to do that, though.
Did you find my friend?
I could kill that Night King. I don't know what I want to do, though. I could probably just cheat. Which, honestly, at this point is what I'm doing, because I'm save scumming. I'm cheating. Good luck! His name is an anagram to Harold.
Over here! Come on!
I think he got disarmed. He didn't die yet? It's dumb as bricks. So he's saying I cheat my whole game. Yes! If you save scum, it's cheating. It's cheating, but it doesn't matter. Cheating is good. Don't never forget that cheating is good. In video games. So what I want to do is I want this guy to not be here. So the longer I wait, I don't understand it either. It could be the gas or something. He takes damage. He definitely takes damage. I kill. You can kill some Nightkin. I love the third Bioshock because it was original. Okay, he's gone.
Did you find my friend?
Let's hope that he doesn't screw it up this time. Oh, we're living in an era where it feels like originality died. Well, especially in AAA gaming. You can't expect AAA gaming to be original. I think Fallout without any saves coming is a complete mess. I think you can do it. I've done it. Did he make it? He made it! Oh, this is also bad news. But he made it! I can't believe he made it. Okay. Now, we have things to deal with, like concealed mines that require explosive skills that I definitely don't have. Or things up here. Let me get my light on. I'm also naked right now. Nah, we'll worry about it. Oh, cockroaches. Of course. Computer. Shipment mistake. Repcom. Or Repcon. Inter-office correspondence. To Robco HQ Supply Department. From Bill Martin, Repcon Custodian. Dear Robco Supply. First off, let me say that everyone here is really excited about the merger. It's super to be part of a company as exciting as Robco. Have we got some kinks in the supply chain? Yesterday, a bunch of crates got delivered here containing 2 gross of devices called Stealth Boys. It is okay if I ask, or is it okay if I ask what these things are? Do they really make you invisible? That sounds wild. What will Robco think of next? Let me know if the shipment came here by mistake. No problem if you didn't. I bet you can have a lot of fun with these things. Thanks, Bill Martin. In light of yesterday's upsetting events, all employees are hereby directed to give a thorough reading of Repcon's sexual harassment and workplace behavior policies. Who could see that coming? Also, while it is not explicitly stated in the employee handbook, unauthorized use of military hardware against fellow employees is grounds for immediate termination. Sincerely, Daniel Nevitt, maybe, HR manager. And supply over here. I think I got the information over here. So, to Robco HQ Supply Department from Sanjeev Rajan. Hi, Robco Supply. We are sending back 2 crates of devices labeled Stealth Boys back to you. According to the manifest, each crate contained 1 gross, 144 of the devices. As a result, the employee misbehavior, not mine, as a result of employee misbehavior, 1 crate was opened and is missing 5 Stealth Boys. Sorry about that. Sincerely, Sanjeev Rajan, Custodian. I wonder if we can read into the fact that it is a custodian who was sending that email as well, rather than anybody who worked over here. But I don't think we're gonna find... I don't know why there's Nightkin that are targeted right now. We can ignore that for a little while. There's a lot of crap over here. What was I talking about? What was I saying? So I'm pretty sure the stealth boys are not here. Some ammo. And of course I'm over encumbered. Disarm the traps for experience, don't touch the other computer. The other computer is trapped as well, I know. Now that Microsoft bought Bethesda, they will make... Nary, and welcome to the stream, by the way. The quest, I wasted 5 hours almost. I spent a lot of time as well, but that's because I was rambling. Talking about Microsoft and Bethesda and stuff. They will make them release finished games. Will they, though? Will they? Do we know this? I wouldn't be so certain. Let's see, where are we? H2O could go for some. I don't think I have drinks, though. There we go. We don't need that. There's definitely something back here. Also, 7.5 billion is the number of bugs in Bethesda games. They had to pay $1 for each bug. That sounds about right. Oh, I don't want to fall down there. It's gonna hurt my feet. Can't disarm every trap, though. That's the problem. Kinda want to, but I can't. We can come back later, but there's no need to. Now to get out of here without... Well, actually, we don't need to get out of here without the Nightkins spotting us. I thought there might have been a Nightkin over here, but there's not. All we need to do is turn off the light. Naked we go. And hope that we don't get seen. Okay. Excuse me. Hi. If you touch that thing, he gets mad.
Antler sings for stealth boys. Have you found them?
There is no stockpile of stealth boys in this building. I clicked because he's a weirdo. Clicked because he's a weirdo. So note for editing, splice the audio from the other one and just, you know, get me over here. Hey, fatty shit pens, welcome to the stream. How's it going? I hope you're having a good day. I am having a good day. Welcome to the stream. Hey, didn't get detected.
Antler sings for stealth.
Get his sword. I don't need his sword. There's no stockpile of stealth boys in this building.
Liar! The invoice said stealth boys here. Antler read it out loud to me.
Well, the stealth boys were sent here by mistake, and then they got sent back.
But invoice note said stealth boys were here. Why can't that note be true? What, Antler? But human could be lying. Stealing the stealth boys for itself.
New Vegas is
Antler,
awesome stuff, yeah.
So easy. Your lucky day, human. Antler, believe you. Nightkin will follow the new note to find stealth boys. Better be there.
I don't know where it is, but off you go. So now they're all friendly. All of the Nightkin are friendly. Which is pretty important. Because also, I need armor. There we go. Because that means I can bring my friends in here. It's all amazing and all that. But let's look around and see if we find anything that I would like. A few bottle caps. I'm thinking no. Wait. My light was off? Huh. I think my light got turned off when I equipped the armor somehow. So maybe those dead-end little places, maybe those places have things for me. Is that not a cool sword? I think it might be a cool sword, but I just don't use the sword, so I don't want to kill him for that. And I think it's better to do pacifistic runs anyway. Just for the sake of having an interesting storyline. For the Let's Play, you know. Because if I'm just playing by myself, I do whatever. There's some stairs over here. What? Pack of cigarettes and whatnot. A Braxo cleaner? What in the hell? I don't... Thank you for the follow, by the way. Fatty shit pants. Let's see if I can get rid of some of the stuff over here that I don't need. Ruby's casserole. I mean, I need that, but we can get more. I wonder if this leads to the same area that we were at downstairs. It doesn't look like it. It looks like a separate area. Sensor module, conductor. It just keeps going. Radioactive sign. It's not very often that you see that in Fallout. Apart from the UI telling you that you got radiation poisoning. Oh, look at that. We got one of those things. Just got a lot of these machines. Put a lot of those in the game. The lathe, I think, is one of them. That is to the Mojave Wasteland. Jung is too kind. As always. Do you know it was him who made it possible that I could have all these mods? Well, we're outside. Oh, there's fart clouds over here. Let's come. Let's go back inside. It's cozier. Also, I can explore the outside. Lady? Lady spawns on me? It's gonna be fine. Science. Computers. Vault entrances. That's the vault entrance, but it's just reused. It's not actually a vault entrance. Rockets. And glowy bits. But mostly rockets. I think this is going to be important, isn't it? Spacesuit helmet. Don't mind if I do. Is that for radiation? I think that might be for radiation. It is not for radiation. It's for goofiness. Goofiness is good as well. And Stimpaks and Mentats. Some good things. These computers don't do anything. So I don't think we're welcome here yet. This game is so much better with mods. I can agree with that. I am having a heck of a much better time now that I have mods. But I liked it a lot when I played it for the first time. I think mods just make it, you know, easier to cope with. And certainly make some of these mechanics a little bit more interesting. So the space, yeah, I'm gonna need to just drink the ruby casserole. Or drink the ruby casserole? That doesn't sound like what you do with food. Eat. I shouldn't do that either. Because it's poison. All Fallout games is better with mods. That's a good point, actually. Weapon texture mod is a must for me, considering the gobby camping rifle in Gold Vanilla game. Yeah, I have the weapon texture mods. I have a lot of the reskins, basically all of the reskins. Are you gonna do more podcasts? Yes, the plan is to do one every weekend. Oh, we record every weekend, and we release it on the day after, I think. Next week is gonna be about movies, so I'm gonna be able to be wholly uninteresting about my suggestions. But you know that already. I have my list picked out. I just need to see if they're on Netflix. Because if they're not, I'm gonna need to pick better ones. Because it needs to be Netflix movies. So now, to explore where this might not be needed though. This is where the mutants were. Ramen steak. Stealth boy. These mutants had stealth boys back here. See what they had in the refrigerator. Gecko steak. It's not bad. Let's drop the casserole here. Food. Ruby's casserole. You got the sprinting mod. I haven't used that. I think it comes from the Josh Sawyer mod. You need to activate it in the options. I think. Yeah, it's really good. I used it when I played this game to the end for the first time. I did it on stream as well, and I used the X key to sprint. It's just a better experience, honestly. Especially if you don't care about action points, which I don't, because I don't like VATS. VATS is cheat mode. Did you know archaeologists don't study dinosaurs? I do. That's why I said that in the thing. People think they do, though. If I found a dinosaur, I wouldn't... Actually, it's not... If I find bones, it's immediately... Bring a paleontologist immediately. Because, I don't have... I have dug bones, but I can't... Like, digging up is not the issue. It's the... studying and appraising the situation that is the issue. And I have dug bones, but I didn't... I had a paleontologist with us. 2 paleontologists with us, actually. I never use VATS, yeah. VATS is God mode, basically. Especially in Fallout 3. In Fallout 3, VATS just makes you immune to damage, as far as I can tell. And I think there is, like, one perk that even makes you even more immune. It's, like, if you get... I think in Fallout 3, there's a perk that if you kill anybody in VATS, you recover all of your action points. So combat becomes absolutely irrelevant for the vast majority of time. Fallout 3 is such a bad game. Honestly, it's such a terrible game. My god. I need to play it still, though. I do. I'm playing for the first time with Josh Sawyer mod and hardcore mode, and I thought it would be much harder. The early game was harder, and now it's pretty easy. Yeah, that sounds about like my experience as well. There goes lady. She got stuck in stairs and all that. Where did I leave my friends? Upstairs? Well, lady is with me, so I still have the Eddie perk and all that. So they're here. Just don't know where they are. Actually, there's a way to tell. They're in the freaking middle of the level. What's wrong with them? They're like... What's wrong with me, most likely? Because why did I leave them here? They must be either upstairs or downstairs. They must be upstairs. I don't hear Eddie, though. They're here. I need to get back there. You mean Fallout 3? I prefer. I like Fallout 3. I prefer the game world in Fallout 3. Yeah, I mean, if those types of specific things, you know, there's always gonna be preferences. I don't like to criticize. I think I heard Eddie. I don't like to criticize like specific preferences and stuff from like the tales, you know, like this character or like the storyline, because that's always very, very subjective. I'm just talking about like, what was I talking about? What did I say that I didn't like about Fallout 3? Oh, how overpowered VATS is. Yeah, I'm talking like gameplay mechanics more than anything. Okay, so I have no idea where they are. So cheat modes. As far as I know, they're not in this map. Because they should be here. But obviously they're not. Might have... There we go. To be honest, with you, I'm not the biggest fan of 4. Yeah, I didn't finish or did anything with 4. I don't know. I mean, I know enough to know that it's badly written. Colonel doesn't like Bethesda's Fallout. Also, he's a member of the No Mutants Allowed. Probably even a member of the writing team. I think I wrote a couple of articles for them. What are you doing? I'm looking for Eddie and Boone and Delilah. The gameplay on 4 is awesome, but the story sucks for me. Yeah, for me, the gameplay wasn't the issue. Like, I finished Fallout 3 twice, and VATS is overpowered, and it's got a lot of problems with gameplay. And, yeah, finished it. Oh my god, this is impossible. Freaking level design. It's not even... This level is bollocks, but it isn't that complicated. Lady, lead me. Oh, lady doesn't lead me. Hi. Don't come and talk to me. I have business. Follow me. Eddie? Did I tell you to follow me? No, yes, I did. She didn't say anything, though.
I've got you.
Thank you.
Nick used to say that we all had two wolves battling inside us. A good wolf and an evil wolf.
I'm dumping you.
The one that wins is the one we feed.
I'm dumping you the moment I can.
Hello.
Hello. Because she talks way too much. For the Let's Play, it's a big problem. Hey.
Go bother Jason, Smoothskin. I don't like having you around.
I forgot, Zero. I forgot that Fallout 4 had the terrible dialogue options. Oh my god. Oh my god, that wasn't even my problem with the game. Because, whatever, that's not even my biggest problem. I forgot about that. I think you left, yes. Harry's gonna be sad. Yeah, I think Delilah, her mission being done, there's no reason to keep her. That's basically the case for every companion. Once you do their mission, you don't need to keep them. Fallout 4 removed perks and skills. Yeah, it's like that's what I mean. Like, gameplay can be atrocious and I'll still play the game. I'll do it. But if the writing is bad, it bothers me tremendously. Unless I'm doing a Let's Play, in which case I will ramble forever. Or not pay attention to it, which has happened in a couple of Let's Plays. I was talking earlier today, I was talking about Outward, and the writing just completely passed me by, and I was like, just enjoying my time here with Bumpy McSquigums, and we did our multiplayer Let's Play, and that's it. And I had a fun time. Fallout 4, yes. At least the shooting in 4 is good. Fallout 4 options, yes, 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 and no. Oh boy. Yeah, I guess I'll be going.
Good riddance.
Well, I have a helmet that you don't have. Speaking of helmets, Eddie. You can carry all of my crap. Do you know what crap is? It is all that I have. That's what the crap is. Hopefully nobody's dying, because that sounded like somebody dying.
Sure.
But he wasn't. So, stealth boys. Yeah, I think we're good there. I hate Outward now, says Narayan. They're a greedy bunch of devs and rude, releasing cut content as DLC, 50% of the game price 1 year later. That sounds bad. I don't know about the 50% of the game price, though. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But if they discounted the game at 50% 1 year later, that's not too bad. That's about normal, especially for a game that doesn't sell enough. Yeah, that's about normal. It's much better than Bethesda. A week after release, it was already discounting it by a third. You too, Delilah. You also carry my stuff. Ah. Oh, wait. Where's Jason? Oh, wait. Jason is so identifiable. How could I have forgotten? Although I don't know where he is. Well, we have a quest marker that tells us where he is. Hello, Jason.
Is the way clear?
The way... Yes, the demons are gone.
Praise the Creator, and bless you, Wanderer.
That 1.Fallout 76 was free. Yes,
I will lead my...
but it was only for a little bit.
To the sacred site. I hope you will come find us there, Wanderer. There is much to be done.
I will go after you, yes. So I need to head to Repcon Basement and talk to Jason Bright about what comes next. Oh, dang. He just went for it. How did I not see your stuff over here? Anyway, let's go to the basement. Outward was like €5 on Epic and 30 on Steam. It wouldn't surprise me if they actually give it away for free on Epic every once in a while. I got the Epic games that are free. I got so much stuff. Honestly.
Dark in here. If you want to use a scope, I can spot for you. Keep you on target.
Dude, stop showing off. I killed all the super mutants. I didn't kill the super mutants, but I dealt with them. The Epic giveaways, like, I don't play the vast majority of the giveaways. Like, the biggest of majorities. But my library of games on Epic Games is much more fleshed out than my library of games is on Steam. And my library of games on Steam is not only basically almost my library of games, because the vast majority of the time I have had money to spend on games, I have had Steam, so that's one thing. But I also get games given for free, so I have a lot of games that are free. That was given for free, rather, to check out and stuff. So I also have a bunch of games there because of it. Oh, right, it's not here, is it? It's after... Man, I really don't know what I'm doing. I did play... Me too, didn't play much. Was disappointed at Total War Troy. Saw that coming. It's like half a game. Didn't see that particular problem coming, honestly, but... I mean, you can't expect. Those are cash cows. Not cash cows. What are the word? Those are cash-ins. That sort of game is cash-ins. Using the franchise to just sort of sell spin-offs. Spin-offs are always going to be cash-ins. Unless they're sold as cash-ins, like for little money, it's not worth it. So they're basically expansions. Except, you know, completely different and whatnot. So not expansions at all. What was I talking about? I was talking about something. Oh, Epic Games. I played Celeste. I played GTA 5. I haven't played it much, but I have it. All given away for free. What else did I play? I think I played... There was another one that I got, and I was like, yes! Oh, it's a Souls-like game. I played it a little bit. I didn't like it much. I don't remember what the name is. It was pretty cool, though. But I didn't play much. Epic Games free games to entice you to buy the DLCs and stuff. Yeah, that's where... It's basically the same... And it's not just that. It's also to allow you to see their store as a thing that you want to have on your PC with games in it. You know what I mean? That's very important. That's the biggest challenge that any game store is going to have, is in convincing people to have them... to have the store installed on your PC in the first place, and to have games in there. So the thing is, having games in there is going to facilitate you making the decision to buy more in there, you know what I mean? Because if you don't have any games on Epic Store and a game comes out on Epic Store, and you're like, I'll just wait I'll just wait until I have it on Steam. But now if you get all the free games, you're like, okay, well, I guess I'll get it on Epic Store. And it's just sort of, it's not really a rational decision. I mean, I guess it is on some level if you really are averse to having the games spread out over multiple stores, which can be a pain in the butt. But the point is, it's the tool they use to get you to be okay with buying games there. And for sure, the DLC, that's the thing, especially for the developers who give the games away for free. But yeah, it's just what it is. So I turned the light off. Everything is fine. Boone needs armor. I'll give him some armor. Did I close this door?
Hey. I waited to speak with you one last time.
Was he him? I think it was Chris who said, hey.
I want you to know that we will remember for all eternity how you delivered us to the threshold of the great journey. Our preparations are nearly complete, but the rockets that will carry us to salvation are yet missing vital components. If you would still help us, Wanderer, speak to Chris. He can tell you what is missing. There is no way that we can thank you enough, Wanderer. Your arrival here was a blessing. We will remember you always.
Can we talk more about the book, by the way? I've taken care of the Night King in the basement, and can I have the book? Yes, Wanderer. You have proven yourself deserving of this. Thank you very much. Are you seriously going to make your great journey... Sorry, great journey on those rockets?
Yes. The rockets will convey us to our promised land in the far beyond. Vision upon vision has confirmed it.
What Jung is saying is very true. That's what I do as well. I have all my games installed either on Steam or on Epic or on the computer, like without DRM, and I just have the shortcuts all on a little folder, and it's good. That's, you know, the thing is, there is still a concern though about having to run all those things. So if you don't have a very powerful computer, like if you have Epic and if you have GOG, if you have Steam, if you have Origin, now apparently it's called something else. So you have the Ubisoft launcher and all this sort of stuff. It's gonna bog your computer down a little bit, so it's gonna be a pain in the butt. But I think the biggest problem having your games library spread out over different services is that it becomes very easy for you to forget that you already own certain games if you buy them multiple times. What I mean by that is, for example, Arcanum. Arcanum, I have 2 copies of it, for sure. I think I have one on GOG, and I have a physical one. Now, do I remember that I have the one on GOG? If I see Arcanum on sale on Steam, do I buy it on Steam just because I forgot? Heroes of Might and Magic is another thing. I bought... Because I haven't played... This happens if you buy games that you don't play. So I'm specifically... I haven't played Heroes of Might and Magic 6, or 7, or 2, or 1. And I have all of Heroes of Might and Magic. But I remember having to check to see if I had them the last time around, because I think I was gonna buy Heroes Might and Magic 6 the second time again, because I think I have 1 through 5 over at Electronic Arts Store over on Origin, and then I have 6 and 7 somewhere else because of, you know, just better deals. And you know, so it's important to remember that, because there's plenty of times that people just buy the same game again, even though they didn't need to. Exclusive games on Epic tend to be horrible than if they were released on Steam. Colonel, did you play the Outer Worlds DLC? I am playing the Outer Worlds DLC. Did it not release on Steam? It's got. What do you mean? It hasn't been a month. Has it been a month? No, it hasn't been a month since the release of the Outer Worlds DLC. It has bugs though. It definitely has bugs. It's not unplayable or anything. I did notice that for Phantom Doctrine. No, not for Phantom Doctrine. What was it? It was like a space. I don't remember the name of the game. It was like a Alien XCOM style game. I did notice that. Apparently they released it on Epic Store as a sort of early access. Yeah, so like that doesn't help them at all. My typical suggestion is that you don't buy games on release, just unless you like wait for reviews for sure. Always wait for reviews for games. But unless like you see the reviews, maybe they're not good, or maybe they're good and you just trust them, sure, whatever, go ahead if you're like really set on playing the game. But as a general rule, there are so many games for you to play. Just never buy them on release. Always buy them later on. Wait for reviews, wait for discounts. If there's going to be DLC, wait for Game of the Year edition. Just do that. If there's going to be like episodes, wait for the last episode to come out. Because it's just such a better way of experiencing games than having to go through with like playing incomplete games. I'm in a situation where I play for Let's Play, so it's a little bit different for me. But even then, it's not 100% different from me. Like, for example, I didn't do that with The Witcher 3, for example, and I probably will not do that with Cyberpunk, just because they released Game of the Year editions, and just, well, I guess I'm gonna wait. The main problem is with Epic stealing data and forcing Steam users to use the Epic multiplayer add-on like they did with the Remnant from the Ashes. It's cross-platform, but they included the add-on in an update. Ooh, that's, yeah. Yeah, there's the privacy issues are definitely a concern. You just need to make a decision for yourself, I guess. And depending on the game, obviously, because that seems like, yeah. The Outer Worlds exclusivity should expire next month. Oh, right. I see what you mean. Right. The DLC is gonna be released next month. It was released, yeah, like 2 weeks ago or something. I'm playing it. I'm doing a Let's Play of it. I'm enjoying it a lot, actually. Buy games and don't play them is awesome. Yeah. That's I do that. It's just, you know, because the sales, I think, the thing is, for one aspect, you have games that you kind of wish you had played already, like Heroes of Might and Magic, or Might and Magic generally, and you sort of, like, I have Mass Effect 3. I've never played it. Never ever played Mass Effect 3. I'm playing Mass Effect 1 right now, but I have Mass Effect 3. Why did I do it? Because it was for $5. I bought it for $5. And when I eventually play it, I will have bought it for $5. Like, I'm playing right now Shadowrun Hong Kong. No, sorry. I'm playing right now Shadowrun Dragonfall. And I bought it, like, 3 years ago. I never played it up until now. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's an amazing game. But I bought it for €2. Because they sell for that little. I bought Shadowrun Returns for a discount. I remember I bought it for discount, but I bought it for like $10. It usually goes on sale for like €1.50. It's like The Witcher 3. The Witcher 1 and 2 go for discounts like super cheap as well. Like Banner Saga. There's so many amazing games that they go for discounts for so cheap. It is so cheap to buy games for PC specifically. I wait because of price. Not just because of price, but mostly because of price. I think in some aspects, like if the game is going to have DLC, if it's going to be patched, if it's buggy at release, or if it's going to have expansions that you want to play together with the main game, you know, if you can't afford to play The Witcher 3 or 4 times from start to finish, it's an enormous game. And if you can't afford to play it 3 times at the very least, from start to finish because of the expansions that come out. Actually, in the case of The Witcher 3, it's not quite like that. But the point is, you know, it's not. It's better. I think it's better to play the complete game the first time around. It happens for some games more than others. And there's other games that DLCs just make the game better, and you just want to play with DLCs. Like, for example, Paradox games, in games like Stellaris or Hearts of Iron. Just, you know, why would you play the game without DLC? Just wait a little bit. Wait for the patch. Wait for all the balance modes. Unless you have money, and unless you're like a really dedicated fan, just wait. Just wait. There's no reason to play it without the DLCs. And you're not going to have all the DLCs anyway, because they are super expensive, unless you want to. But the thing is, it's still a lot cheaper to buy after than to buy them as they come, because you can sink a lot of money. Shadowrun Hong Kong also goes for very cheap every once in a while, but I don't think it goes for €2. I think it goes for a little more than that. I know you are. It has so much dialogue. It does. It also has a little bit of fighting. I still am not 100% okay with the fact that they treat the Marauders as not people. I'm not sure what this DLC is going to do with that, but still. You should also try Medieval Dynasty. It's a single-player, early access, but it's like... I wrote it down here, Narayan. Medieval Dynasty, to check it out. It's like Kingdom Come, except you take control of your own village. That sort of stuff is pretty cool. Then DLCs for free, yeah. Like, I bought The Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition for €25. I think September 2016. The game came out in 2015. €25 for the complete game with all the DLCs. Games in Brazil are very expensive. It's really hard to buy on release. Yeah, and that's the other thing as well. If you live in a country where either the conversion rate sucks, or there's tax, or I mean, honestly, if you like, honestly, there's some. All I'm saying is there's some situations where piracy is absolutely okay. It's in my book, anyway. And yeah, so when it comes to like the sort of stuff that is completely out of your control, either because the price of the games or the hardware and stuff like that is just so out of your normal income level, or because the taxes just make it impossible, it's just, yeah, it's very difficult to buy at launch. But I hate to wait. Seeing everyone playing makes me crazy. Zero, that I've been where you are. Not necessarily because I couldn't buy the games on release, but mostly because I didn't have the hardware to run it. That goes away with time. Arilagi, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Good morning. That goes away with time. That's sort of like, oh, I want to play that. That goes away with time, because also you start to get your, at least it does for me. You start to get your own sort of like perspective on games. So you start to be able to enjoy older games as well. There's so many old games that are amazing and you can sink your teeth into, and it's just, they're great. I have Books Barnos, welcome to the stream. You have a lot of experience in this game. I am I think level 7 or something. I'm very early in the game. Does this mean Obsidian will make a new Fallout game in a new engine? Wink wink. We were talking about that before. I hope they make a turn-based game. I want turn-based Fallout. I want turn-based Fallout. Are these surface-to-surface rockets, by the way, or will they launch you into orbit?
I understand your concerns, friend, and I thank you for voicing them.
I'm not sure I have a lot of science for this.
For us has been made manifest.
Let's talk about Chris.
After all that you have done for us, I suppose you deserve to know everything. When Chris came to us, we tried to convince him that he was human. But this only angered him. He seemed lost. We decided to let him stay with us for a few days, over the course of which we learned that his technical skills far surpassed our own. It became clear that the Creator had sent him to us to ensure the success of the Great Journey. Equally clear was that Chris should labor in blessed ignorance of his humanity.
This guy is such a
and his
manipulative
inability
fuck.
to make the journey himself. It is no coincidence that two humans have been vital to the success of the Great Journey. It is my belief that the Creator sent you and Chris to expiate the sins of your kind against mine. You're redeemers both.
The sins of my kind against his. So first off, he's totally exploiting Chris, totally lying to him, and it's definitely not okay. Secondly, no, our kinds are the same. Although he does talk about wanting to leave because everybody is shitty to ghouls. He doesn't have a kind. Right? I mean, they're infertile. It's not maybe people, but it's not like the super mutants or something. Even though the super mutants are also infertile. And that it also would be the sins of the super mutants against the humans. Even though super mutants are humans, it's kind of complicated. They're humans as well. Basically, this guy just got a bunch of radiation and he ghoulified. And then people say that he's ugly and smells. So you're going to leave Chris behind?
Such is the Creator's will. Vision upon vision has shown
I might destroy the rocket.
were Chris
I might
to
destroy the rocket.
accompany us,
I don't know what's going to happen.
he would die in minutes. The radiation around the launch pad alone would kill Chris in minutes. The radioactivity of the far beyond is much stronger.
Zero says, what happens to me is I see everyone playing, and if I don't buy it at launch, after a few months, no one is playing anymore, and that desire I had to play is no longer the same, and they're still super expensive anyway. That's a good way of saving money. Wait until you don't like it, and then you just don't want to buy it. I delay a lot of my purchases, not in video games, but I delay a lot of my purchases because of that. I only spend money if I have wanted to spend that money for at least a few months. At least a few months. Usually half a year is a good thing. Maybe more. And yeah, basically that I avoid spending money on impulse purchases that I might not need. Because there's always good deals and good things that I kind of could benefit from. I don't know. There's always if I were to spend money just because I want to, I have so much things that I want that I need. It's not even I want because I want I don't know, a new shirt or whatever. Even though I do need shirts, but even then, I'll just get better pants or a jacket or shoes. I need shoes. I only have 2 pairs. I need shoes. You know what I mean? This sort of need. I could spend that money, but I don't really want it, so I just don't and save it. But there's other things I need a new desk. I've been meaning to do that for a while. I need a new bed. There's just so many things that I could tomorrow go and buy, but I just wait and delay, and that way I save a bunch of money. Try to, anyway. He's ugly and smells. He might also transform into a tree, says Nayrayan. Ghouls also don't get sick, I think, and live longer. I don't know they don't get sick. They might, in new lore, but Harold is he coughs a lot. Harold from the Fallout 1 and from Fallout 2. More so in Fallout 2, but he's really bad of his lungs. So I don't know if that's a sickness or if it's just the lungs being bad. But it's he's always coughing. That's his whole spiel. I practically don't have clothes because I only spend on games. That is the smart thing to do, Zero. Honestly, I am right there with you. Did you try Arm RPG mobile version? I did not. I waited a game. I waited the games from 2016, and it's been on my wish list for 2 years. Then somebody bought it for me because he said it's been 2 years, and I know he really wanted it. Let's say a birthday gift. Nice, Adilagi. That's great stuff. That's always nice. Well, it's none of my business. Yeah, it is some of my business. You've been using Chris. It's despicable.
It is the Creator's will, and I must submit. There is no malice in it. We would take him with us if we could.
There's definitely malice. There's definitely malice. Are you paying him for his work? If not, even if you were, but if not, then there's malice right there. Even if you were, there would be malice because you're lying to him. You know that he wouldn't work for you if he knew the truth. So goodbye, Jason.
There is no way that we can thank you enough, Wanderer. Your arrival here was a blessing. We will
wayward,
remember
yeah.
you always.
Will you, though?
Hey,
What? Chris? Oh, that's them down there. Oh, Chris is over here.
hey.
Hey, what's up? Where'd he go? Lost track of him. Oh, he goes down here. Oh, they're gonna... Are they gonna mess with the things? I think Chris needs to help them. So they're just waiting right now. Okay. Well, my science kinda sucks, dude. I really wish I had better science. It's 40 science. It's bad science. I think I only need 60 though. So maybe I'll be okay. Maybe I'll get...
Hey.
Hey.
Jason says that I am to cooperate with you on the final task.
Didn't you convince Chris is human? It only happens now. You know, the convincing only happens now. They didn't give you a reward for your efforts and called you Smooth Skin. I think that's because I called him out on that, which is totally fine. I want to roleplay more than get rewards. But I think I called him out on it. What do you do here?
I'm the Flock's resident engineer. I've always been good with machines. Jason says the Great Journey would have been impossible without me. Of course, my skills aren't much use unless I have the right materials. That's where you come in.
Why don't they let you work down on the launch pad?
When I joined the Flock, Jason made it clear that he wanted me to supervise the repairs, not do them myself. It would be a waste of my gifts to work on just one system at a time.
Oh, you mean...
From up here, I've been able to supervise.
Yeah, this
the
guy
entire
thinks he's a ghoul,
project.
basically, yes. The radiation down there would kill you, Chris, because you're human.
I thought we were past all that, Smoothskin. But you just can't resist the chance to mess with me. Typical human. I was human once, you know. Grew up in Vault 34, northeast of here. Nice
Location was not
upbringing if you
added.
like assault rifles and target practice. But oh, you prefer machines that don't shoot people? Not so nice then. Who should maintain the Vault's reactor? Hauser? Mitchell? No. Make it Haversam. He likes machines. Haversam won't mind getting irradiated. Haversam won't mind.
That's a nice
mutating.
story.
He's already ugly as it is. Haversam won't mind when his
He's
hair
not ugly.
starts falling out after a few years. There's no connection.
Oh, I
Haversam.
forgot.
You're neurotic.
I forgot it's because of the hair. He's complaining because he convinced himself he's a ghoul because his hair started falling off. You left your vault because you were going bald?
Bald? You call this bald, Smoothskin? I'm a monster. A monster!
Time for me to go.
Later.
I think I might be able to convince you otherwise. Delilah,
Okay.
give me my speech pants. There they are. I don't know if they're gonna be good, but hopefully they are. There you go. Excuse me.
Are you ready to get started? Those rockets aren't going to launch themselves.
No. No, it's about the hair. Jason told me himself. The Great Journey. I don't do air quotes this time because it's very serious business. Is for ghouls only. You're not going.
Oh, God. You're telling me the truth, aren't you? Oh, no. How could they do this to me? For 2 years. My God, I've been a joke to them. Do you have any idea how easy it'd be for me to sabotage those rockets? That'd be a joke, huh? One hell of a joke.
That would be murder, Chris, and you're no murderer.
What, you think I'm too stupid to pull it off? I know enough to get their rockets working, don't I? So I can make them fail, too.
Well, it's not a matter of smarts. You let other people get the experience for their kills. You'd never forgive yourself.
Like I could forgive myself for getting duped like this? They used me, and now they'll throw me away.
They'd take you if they could, Chris, but you would die.
And dying would be worse than this? Used up and thrown away like garbage?
They're going to revere you as a saint, Chris.
Oh, so I've redeemed the human race, is that it? What a crock. The human race can't stand me.
That's not true, Chris. You're all right.
So, you want me to accompany you on your adventures across the wasteland, is that it?
You know what? Maybe. There's a little town called Novak down the road. Just go there. I'll meet you up because I need to dump Delilah. It's fine.
Life among humans again? That's what you're suggesting? I guess it's the only chance I've got. I can't believe I'm agreeing to this, but I'll give it a try. I'll get Jason and his flock on their way, and then I'll head for Novak.
Oh, you're gonna get him on his way. Lucky them. I thought I was gonna do that. Because we can do that if something happens. I'm not sure.
I heard there are rad scorpions that can get as big as a trailer. Ew. That gives me the creeps just thinking of it.
Skip that. Chris,
Are you ready to get started?
how can I help?
I was close to completing work on the rockets before we were driven into hiding on the
He's not
top
gonna
floor.
sabotage the ships.
Two
I'm
components were
maybe.
missing. A quantity of isotope
Welcome back.
239 igniting agent, and a set of thrust control modules. The igniting
that
agent
thrust
is
control
highly
modules.
radioactive and decays quickly. That's why we can't use the drums that leak down on the launch pad. It's no longer potent enough. I need you to find an intact, shielded container of the igniting agent. As for the thrust control modules, they were custom built for these rockets. They won't even launch without them.
I still have questions.
All right, go on.
I'm Batman. How can I help?
As I said before.
That's fine. I'll track down the igniting agent.
Very well, we don't need a huge amount. 2 to 3 liters should be enough.
What about this rocket souvenir? The stuff inside glows.
Let me see. Yes, that's the igniting agent. But we'll need more of these souvenirs. A total of 5 should do it.
That's why that rocket souvenir was marked as a quest. That's interesting. I wonder if it's easy to figure it out that you're supposed to bring that. Maybe the game tells you in the quest updates. Can you give me any tips for my current task?
Repcon has been ransacked so many times by scavengers, it's hard to know where the components might turn up. If they turn up. Jason has mentioned some industrial ruins to the east that are supposed to be highly radioactive.
Really?
I'd start by visiting local junk merchants or traders and see if that turns anything up.
Actually, I'd like to help with something else.
All right. What would you rather be doing?
The control thrust things, maybe? Can I not do both? I'll stick with my current task.
All right. Carry on.
I didn't expect it to be like that. To not be able to do both quests. But we have an objective. Let's go get some rocket souvenirs. And it's a good thing that the exit is right here. I know, Jung, I know. I know it's there. That's where I got the rocket souvenir from. Actually, I think I got my rocket souvenir from somebody's house. Maybe I did get it from the dino. I don't know. Oh, the smelly farts. Oh no. Excuse me, Delilah. Give me
Okay, here you go.
no. Give me the advanced radiation suit. Thanks. Now you fellas, don't get too radiated. What is this? Steady. Cat eye. Absinthe. I really don't need the absinthe, though. I can live without that. It's H2O. No, it is actually relatively expensive. Is there anything back here? There is not. I'm not sure how the radiation works. Are there gonna be enemies? We haven't been back here.
Okay, here you go.
Just take the things. I'm not sure how the radiation works. I wonder if it decays or if it's permanent. It looks like it's pretty permanent. I have 318. Do you have anything interesting back here? I don't think so. So back to... What was the name of that place? Novak. Back to Novak we go. Oh, we're in the front yard. So we can fast travel. Sure, let's do that. Why is it there? Why? What a weird thing. Maybe we can figure a different way of dealing with this. We got also merchants. Excuse me.
Grim has a new sheriff. That should keep the powder gangers away.
Yes.
Hey there. Need anything?
Yes, I'd like to see your wares.
Sure.
Sell the laser pistol. And the ammo. I have a lot of it. 21 maybe? Yes. Thanks. Man, that cow growls at me. Anyway, let's drink a bit of what? No. Should I go in there? Yeah, I should go in there. There's nobody in here at this time of night. So I'm not sure where I'm gonna get a drink of water, but it's gonna be fine. Okay. Find atomic fuel. Oh. So I think I know what that is. I think I remember what that is. Let's go there, nonetheless. Dino for the fuel. That's the for. There was a trap here. Sure. You no longer have dehydration sickness. Let's go for the thrusters there as well. That shouldn't be the thrusters, though. But I want to explore now. So we're going there. We also have the quest, the location marked on the minimap, so it's not going to be too difficult. But it's going to be the end of the stream because my eyes are killing me. Honestly, I'm really tired today. I don't know why. But that's going to be that for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a good time. That's where we need to go eventually. I just got here, says Arilagi. You did. I'm sorry, Arilagi. I'm very tired today. My eyes are like they've been killing me all the whole stream. I don't know. I'm tired. I didn't have coffee today. That might be the reason. I doubt it though. Donaldson, welcome on in. I'm sorry, I'm leaving right now. Do you think Betsy and Obby will create Fallout Van Buren now? Bethesda and Obsidian. Nice question. We were talking about that earlier in the stream. If you want to hear about that, this video is gonna. Well, you can also see the VOD here on Twitch. But this video will be going up on YouTube as well. I think it is possible, but it's not gonna happen in the next few years. I don't think it's gonna be a priority right now. That's my take on it, and there's reasons why that is, but I don't know. The thing is, I think there's better ways of selling Fallout than making. Than I think Microsoft is gonna see Fallout as a different type of franchise than making another New Vegas. Is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, thank you so much. Gained radiation sickness, lost thirst. I didn't actually gain radiation sickness, did I? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Good morning, depending on where you are. And I will see you again in 2 days' time. Sorry, Idolagi. Bye-bye.